Hey there, it's Jessica here, and I just wanted to take you on a journey with my friend the tomato, just to show you how a food goes from processed to ultra processed. So we start here with just fresh tomatoes. These are plucked right from the vine, and that's exactly a whole food. So this would be considered completely unprocessed. And then we have next along the line our diced tomatoes. This would be considered a minimally processed food. You go from the fresh tomato and chop it up. You add a little bit of citric acid, sometimes salt, in order to cook it and process it so that it's more shelf stable. So when you buy the fresh tomatoes, they're only going to stay good for about a couple weeks, and then they're gonna start to go rotten. So one of the benefits, one of the reasons why we process food is to extend the shelf life. So up here in Canada, where we can't grow food all year long, this is super helpful so we can eat tomatoes all throughout winter. And one thing to note is they are chopped up a bit, so you lose the necessity to chew it. So that's one of the good things about whole foods, is the more you have to chew it, the more work that your body has to do to break it down, digest it, and access that energy, the more sustained energy you're going to have, rather than super processed foods, which we'll see after. Your body's going to be able to swallow it quickly, digest those nutrients, absorb them, and you're going to get a quick spike in energy, which will drop you down pretty quick afterwards. So this would be considered minimally processed, still good food to keep as part of your core diet. And then here we have salsa, or another tomato product in this category would be like a pasta sauce. So this would be considered just a processed food. So it's, again, fairly minimal in terms of processing. So this adds more flavor. There is a bit more salt in here, and some, not this brand, but some brands there might be a little bit sugar, but it's still overall a good food to have as part of your core diet. And again, this is broken down a bit more, so it's pretty quick to swallow. There's not a lot of chewing that you need to do for the salsa. And then we have our friend ketchup, which would be the ultra processed tomato product. So in fact, a third of the ketchup is sugar. So there's a lot of sugar, a lot of salt added, and as you can see, there's no chewing whatsoever. It's a complete puree at this point. So when your body gets this, you can swallow it really quickly, and your digestive system can quickly access the nutrients, the sugar and the carbs in here, and that's going to go into your bloodstream really quickly. So this would be a food that you wouldn't want to have as part of your core diet. This would be one of those foods that we would talk about to eat in moderation. So there you have it. So that's an example of how the tomato goes from a whole food along the chain to an ultra processed food. And if you want to learn all the ins and outs and everything you need to know about processed foods, then please read my blog article